that I look at in selecting associate judges.
Thank you. One more question for Mr. Teel.
First of all, Judge Teel, I know that my experience in front of your court, not as a juvenile, just to be clear there, but going with some of the kids in the program that I'm involved with, I see that you've been very fair, and I like that you do involve the parents, as you said, and offer options. But one of the concerns that I always have with a lot of the parents is a lot of them, it's their first time that they're involved in the legal system, period. And a lot of them come in and really have no idea, what options they may have. Will you be involved, or will you support getting more information out, like something like if your child gets arrested, if your child is involved in the juvenile system, these are the steps that you need to take, or what you should do. I think there's lack of information, both in English and Spanish.
And Mr. Galea, are you primarily talking about what I would be able to do once the juvenile is involved in a referral, or maybe out in the community before a child is involved in a referral?
I think we need to go to more community information.
Absolutely. I don't enjoy being a candidate, but I do see the importance of opportunities to speak to the community about my knowledge of the system. And I do believe that it is the responsibility of the elected judge of the 323rd to have that kind of community outreach to any organizations that want to hear such things as what is the process. As a parent who might end up with a child in the juvenile delinquency system, what can I expect? What kind of services are out there that I might utilize before my child breaks the law and ends up with a referral? So absolutely, I do believe that there needs to be a community outreach from the 323rd, and I would love to be able to do that as the elected judge.
All righty, thank you very much.
So we have to move on.
Thank you, Mr. Teel. Our next speaker is Tarrant County's very own Sheriff Waybourn.
Thank you. It is a tremendous honor to be here with you this morning and listen to the community outreach that has already gone on and the number of things that are happening in the community. And if you'll forgive me, I'm going to leave my hat on. I'm extremely hard hearing, so if questions are asked, I hear better with my hat on because the voices come under the brim of the hat. Now, ladies, before you go out and buy your man a hat, I didn't say anything about my listening skills being any better, but I can hear. I want to dovetail off of what James was talking about there, and the criticalness of that court is impacting. It's a tremendous impacting issue to our county and to our state and to our nation. There's a lot that goes on there, but as I look at this morning, our jail population in Tarrant County is 4,000, right at 4,000 people in jail. Now, there's two things those people have in common at a static basis, is 80% of them. Louder? Okay, thank you. Forgive me. Two things that those people have in common in our jail this morning, out of those 4,000, is one, 80% of them don't have a high school education. 80% of them don't have a father in their life. So this is not rocket science as far as criminal justice issues. Those things are there, and one of the things that I try to advocate for, in fact, I've been involved with Judge Till in his DA days when he was involved in one of my adoptions, is that we're advocates for the fatherless. And we try to get out in the community as the sheriff's office officially to do that, but also on a personal basis. But right now, just as a reminder of everything that the people have gone through the process of that court, is that right now in Tarrant County, the greater Tarrant County, I don't know if you know this or not, but we have 350 to 400 children that are available for adoption, and nobody's taking them. And as a community, regardless of what part of the community you're from, that's a mark on us. And we also know that those children that are in that foster care system, that foster care system, that the statistics are staggering, that 70% of them that stay in that perpetual foster care program will end up in our mental health issues or our criminal justice system. If they're rescued out of it, that goes down to single digits. It goes out to single digits. And here's my personal plea, and this is Bill Waybourn's personal plea, is part of the issue is for people like me, people like Judge Teal, is try to get the government out of the way and let the community come in and rescue those children and give them an opportunity to have a productive life. And just a thought there. But wouldn't it be cool if Tarrant County, because this is not, I mean, it's all over the state. It's all over the state. But here in Tarrant County, if we set a goal of saying, hey, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, not only did we have those 350 kids into a family forever, but we had 350 families waiting for the next child that needed a home. That's what would be cool. That's what would turn the community around as a whole. It would turn it around on its head. And we'd see that jail population starting to drop. We would see his business starting to drop. And we can find something else for our attorneys to do. But I just, as a personal plea there, is that as we talk about criminal justice and what's going on there, there's a lot of ramification. And oh, by the way, and some of the things that we did at Tarrant County is we're doing a human trafficking unit where we're going out and we're getting victims out of human trafficking. And studies show that 89% of the kids in our human trafficking right now come out of our foster care program. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We need good foster families. We need good adoptive families. So there's my personal plea. And personally, and something that's crazy about Bill Waybourn and my beautiful wife Laura, is we've adopted 7 children. And then about a month ago, my wife at an event said, somebody said, "You're not going to adopt anymore." And she says, "No, I think we're finished." And I ran to her and I said, "God heard that." So next week, we're getting our 8th adoptee. And that's some of the crazy things that we're involved in. But as we do that, and we're honored to be in that fight, and we feel like God has called us to that on a very, 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 very faith personal basis, and we recognize everybody's not called to do that. But when we do that, the children that come to our home, and by the way, I've had 5 different languages in my home, including English, and I can't even hardly speak English in regards to the rest of those languages. But so it's been a very diverse crowd. We've had a great time, and very blessed. But is that one of the more important things I'm here to talk about is, I teach these kids about the great America, the great United States of America. And some of these kids were from other countries, and that they will have the opportunity to do anything that they want to do, and how great America is, and how patriotism is alive and well, and we need to be doing those things. But to maintain this great America, we certainly have to obey the rule of law. And just like Judge Teal said, he's going to follow the law, and so am I. And I have, since I came into office in January of 17, that's exactly what I wanted to do, is I wanted to follow the rule of law. And SB4, we've done those things. And one of the things that I think from my standpoint on 287G issues and SB4 issues is that we haven't done enough messaging on what that really means. Well, first of all, the big thing about SB4, what it does mean and will mean is Texas peace officers that are patrolling your neighborhoods are not doing immigration enforcement. That's not what they're there for. SB4 doesn't say do it. They're not going to do it, and that's what they do. They're going to enforce Texas law. That's out on the street. Not going to happen. Now, what happens when 287G comes into effect? Well, again, the rule of law, what that does is it gave us service for 24/7 in our jail. And right now today, and I'll give you a snapshot of this, is that if somebody commits a Class B misdemeanor or higher, all the way up to the capital murders, and they come into our jail, so they're inside the brick and mortar, they've been arrested, they're inside the brick and mortar of the jail, that's when their immigration status is checked. And if they're illegally in the country, there's a detainer put on them. But they still face all the state charges. And they can bond out. They can bond out of those circumstances. But they face the state charges and they have to do that. They may be sentenced to life in prison. They may be sentenced to 20 years, or they may be sentenced to 6 months or probation. And all we're doing at the end of that is that then they will go to immigration's process over there. And there's a variety of things that happen there, and I'm not on that end of it. But it doesn't come into play until they end up in our jail. So it's not until it's inside the brick and mortar of the jail. Nobody's going out looking for them. Now, what does that do to our community? Well, you know what it does is that you've probably heard about ICE raids all over the nation, right? Out in the neighborhoods doing that. You're probably not hearing much about that in Tarrant County unless it's